Hello, my name is Anna, and today I want to speak about the topic, the power of words. Every day we say many words, sometimes without thinking about them. We don't stop to consider how the other person might feel. But words, they're not just sounds that we hear. It's an emotion, an influence, and sometimes it can be the beginning of change. With one word, we can encourage someone, or fully the other way make them lose confidence. Very often, we don't even realize how powerful our words can be. For us, it may be just a sentence, but for someone else, it may be the moment that they'll remember for a very long time. A Georgian proverb says, "A tongue, if it speaks sweetly enough, will pull a literal snake out of its hole," which means that with right words we can achieve something that force cannot. Well chosen words can calm, bring people closer, and help us find the solutions in the most difficult situations. Words can be the bridge between people, or it can be the wall that separates them. This idea is clearly shown by the medieval Georgian writer Soha Beliani in his fable, The Sweetest and the Bitterest. In the story, King orders his servants to bring him the sweetest thing on earth. The servants go and come back with the tongue. King orders them now to bring him the bitterest thing on earth. The servants go and come back with the tongue again. King is now confused. He asked for two completely different things and got the same exact answer for both of them. The explanation for this is simple, but it's also powerful. There is nothing sweeter and nothing more bitter in the whole world than a human tongue. This shows us that words don't have one fixed meaning. They become whatever we choose to make them into. We decide whether our words are kind or harmful, whether we help or harm, whether we build or destroy. Today, in the age of social media, words have even greater power. A word or a sentence can travel all around the world in just seconds, and it can affect not only one person, but it can affect thousands. People often write things without thinking about the consequences. But the person behind the screen reading them may feel them differently. This is where an important idea comes in, language framing, which means that we can say a word or a sentence two completely different ways. For example, this is a problem or this is a challenge. First one stops a person. Second one pushes them to act. The way we use our words changes our thinking, our attitude, and sometimes even our action. We see this in our everyday life. When someone tells you this is difficult, you feel afraid. But when someone tells you this is a challenge but you're capable of doing it, you feel motivated. Kind words create trust. Supportive phrases make people stronger. And good words give people hope. But harsh and cruel words leave scars that stay for a very long time. Sometimes, even one word is enough to make someone doubt themselves. And this doubt stays with them for years, sometimes even lifetimes. Words are powerful, but the real power is in how we receive them and how we choose to respond to them. For example, I want to take Billie Eilish, one of the greatest singers. From a very young age, she was criticized about her body, her style, and her taste in music. At first, these negative comments affected her, but then she came to a realization that she had to accept herself if she wanted to succeed. And that's what she did. Today, she talks about her story and encourages other people to not give too much power to other people's words. I also want to take an example from Formula one of my favorite sports. In 2021, when Max was competing against seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, he won against him, and after it, he received many negative comments. Many said it was just the car or it was just luck, or many even said that he didn't even deserve to win. But Max, he ignored all of these comments and he kept on pushing and pushing himself to become better. And now, because of this, he's one of the legends. But, on the other hand, Lando, in 2024, when he was competing against now full-time world champion Max Verstappen, after one bad race, he crashed and lost few places. At first, the bad results at the race affected him, but then, the negative comments after it are brutal. Many said he deserved to feel the pain, he deserved to crash, or many even asked the questions, why was he even a driver? For Lando, that was too much for him. For 26 hours he couldn't sleep straight. Same situation two completely different outcomes. This shows us how words can affect people two completely different ways. I also was someone who was deeply affected by criticism. I was afraid of making mistakes, of taking risks, and I sometimes stopped when to keep moving. I want to share one moment of my life that I will never forget. When I was studying in my old school, my old math teacher brought us in this difficult problem and she asked us the question. At first, I couldn't hear the question correctly because the classroom was loud. But then, she told me that I wouldn't be able to solve it. When I asked the question, that really got to me. I felt that I had lost all of my confidence at that moment. I was so discouraged by her words that I didn't want to hear anything about maths and I started to hate it. I thought that I would never be able to solve anything again in my life. But then, my family played a crucial role in the situation. They helped me realize that maybe the teacher was wrong or maybe she just had a bad day and her words came out wrongly. I thought about it for a very long time. For months, I couldn't sleep straight because of this. And that's when I decided to make a decision. Firstly, I wanted to prove myself. And secondly, I wanted to prove the teacher that I was capable of doing it. So, quietly on my own, I started doing my own mathematical equations and checking the answers either online or back of the book. And soon after, I saw progress. Step by step, I had gained all the confidence I had lost, started studying harder, got the best grades in class, and got confident enough to take part in competitions not only in maths but other subjects where I achieved success. After this, I realized one important thing: to never let someone else decide what you're capable of. I also learned another important thing: that cruelty may not always be your enemy. It may be just a signal for you to grow. After this, I started believing in myself. I started taking action. Today, I no longer try to prove anything to others. I try to prove it to myself. Now, words aren't something I fear anymore. For me, they are a tool for growth, motivation, and progress. We should remember, every word is a choice, and we choose when to say it or how to say it. We decide whether to be someone else's kind voice or a harsh one, whether we open a door or close it, not for only ourselves but also for someone else. And finally, I want to leave you with one last question. What kind of words do we use every day? Do we encourage or do we hurt? Do we build or do we destroy? The answer for this isn't simple, but one thing is clear. Words have the power to change a person, and a person has the power to change the world. Thank you.